So with an online course, if you've taken one before, one of the staples of online courses are discussion boards. And one of the things that students hate about online courses is discussion boards. And I realize that and I recognize that. My mom has taken tons of online courses and she complains about them all the time. So I'm really familiar about it. But I have tried to design discussion boards that are actually interesting. And each semester my students say they really enjoyed them, they were a lot of fun. So I know you might be coming into this like, ugh, but I promise you it won't be that bad. Now this semester I actually cut out a lot of them. In the past I've done 8, but because of this new project that I'm doing this semester, there's actually only going to be 3. But if you've never done a discussion board before, I do want to just take a quick moment to explain what it is, how it looks like, and what to expect. So this is looking at a past class, but one of the similarities between your class and that class is that the first thing you see when you go to the discussion board is this Biocafe. This Biocafe is an area for you to ask questions, or if you found something really interesting, or you saw a news clip, or you watched a TV show, or you just found something that you think would be really cool to share with everyone in the class, this is where you do it. So if I click in the Biocafe, some examples of things students posted last semester. Global warming, is it really a bad thing? They found this article that was explaining some of the benefits of global warming. Unit 5 questions. So in the weekly guide, I ask questions and I don't give you the answers. If you post here in the Biocafe and you guys are talking about it, I will jump in and correct anything that might be wrong. But I want you guys to work with each other. I don't want you to just email me those weekly guide questions and say, hey, are these right? Because, yeah, that helps you, but it might help a lot more students posted somewhere that everyone can see them. The other benefit too, posting here in the Biocafe, if you post your answers to the Biocafe, you get a half a point extra credit. If you post, a link or a TV show or something interesting, you get a half a point extra credit. If someone asks a question or you are supplying more information, you get a half point extra credit. So I'm giving you credit for doing these interactions that you typically do in a classroom anyway. So this will be up all semester long, and again, I will be in there and I'll be addressing those questions as well. I usually try to give the class about 24 hours to respond to it before I do, just to give you guys more opportunities for extra credit. So that's one thing in the discussion board. And then during the semester, there'll be other discussions. Most of them, what will happen is that you have to post first before you can see everyone else's responses. So for example, I clicked on this GMOs around the world, and it says this is a post-first discussion forum, which means before you can even see everyone else, you have to post something. The reason I do this is sometimes I ask you guys to go get some research to do X, Y, and Z, and it might be unfair because you might go and look at someone else's answers and just use those. And I don't want you to do that. The whole point is that you are getting something out of this. So if you see this page, you haven't done anything wrong. You just need to create your thread first. Typically, I'll have a whole bunch of instructions here. Because this was early in the semester, I had highlighted them and taken them away to make this have a lot more space. But for example, a subject. So this is what everyone's going to see in the discussion board. This is how they're going to know to choose yours. Now, this topic is GMOs around the world, so you might write Canada GMOs. I've had students who love puns and bad jokes, and they go all out for these subject titles, and it gets more students to look at theirs. You don't have to do this, but I'm just letting you know you can be fun with it. It doesn't have to be straight to the point. It totally can be too. That's fine as well. So I'm going to write Canada GMOs. And then here's where your response would go. So blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you should not type that, but just showing you this is where your text would go. If you found any resources or other sources of information, you do need to cite them. So it'd be sources. Here's a website. Here was the author. Do they have bias? So not biased because they are a scientist in this field, etc. So not only do I want you to list your source, so just the website link, but also tell us about the source. You know, the information you grab from an EPA website versus John's really cool website is very different. So yes, you can provide the link, but give a 1, maybe 2 sentence analysis of your source. Just letting us know, who are they? What do they know? Do they actually know anything about Canada GMOs, or is it just a Canadian who lives there? Very, very different types of information. If for some reason you have a file you can attach it, you probably aren't going to have this, and then click submit. Now once you click submit, you can see that there is a whole bunch of other comments. These are all the other discussion boards that people have done so far. And as you can see, because it was about GMOs, everyone's listing their country name. And that's what we see, that subject that you wrote. It'll also say what your name was. And then you can also see how many unread posts were there, who's replied to me, how many replies are there. Now, I have none because I'm the professor and I don't really write on them. I do read everyone's, but that's about it. So anyway, that is just a quick cap on how the discussion boards work. Once you see the discussion board, you can now open up other students and you can reply to them and start a conversation. Sometimes I will ask you to actually reply to other students, and I will say, like, leave a legit or a good reply. Really what I mean is leave like 4 to 6 sentences. Saying cool is not a good reply. You can say it, I don't care, but I'm going to grade you on your 2 best replies. So if the only replies you've done are cool and that's awesome, you're not going to get any points. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, but otherwise I think you guys will figure it out. It's pretty straightforward. And again, with the discussions every week, there will be a discussion link here on the left, but there will also be individual discussion links within each weekly folder as they're assigned. So good luck, and if you guys have any questions, although you can email me, what you really should do is come here to the Biocafe because some other students might have those questions too.